Sometimes we set out to do a portrait based on an old photograph, and we run into unexpected difficulties even as we're trying to be faithful to the original. This is a photo of myself and my brother from 1975, so you can see it was a very long time ago. And my brother was 12 years younger than myself. And we were sitting on a little hillock with some natural wild sunflowers growing there. And I wanted to paint this, but there's something about the colors and the exposure that made it difficult for me to even decide what color anything was supposed to be. Partly, I think the original photograph was overexposed to begin with. You can see that I have on a hat in the photograph, and that hat was supposed to be beige, but it looks almost white and it blends into the background, and everything else is either too dark or too light. And so even as I was trying to be faithful to the original and asking myself, what do I see here? What do I see there? Instead of going by my preconceived notions of what is in the photograph, I actually tried to look and to copy what was in it. But there was a problem due to the overexposure, and I couldn't tell what color anything was supposed to be. And I had trouble with the highlights and the dark tones, and so eventually what I found worked for me was using sort of harsh colors, putting rather large shadows all over our faces and using what seemed like unnatural colors for our lips, our eyes. And this was an attempt to be true to the overexposure and possibly even fading in the original photograph. This was a photograph that I inherited from my grandmother. She had it in a frame in Israel, and so when she died, it was brought over here for me, and I put it on a shelf, and then there was some leakage from the roof, so it was somewhat damaged. And all of that has gone into the way in which I conceived of the drawing, of the process of representing my brother and myself in this painting. I think in a way there is a creepy element in this portrait, so I think it's very appropriate for Halloween because of the unusual colors that are used and the unusual light in which the faces are cast. And so you see I have a pumpkin in front of it, and I really enjoy showing you the process of putting this together, but also the struggles that I had with it. In the beginning, my brother's face was easier for me to do, and my own face, which was even more in shadow than his, was more difficult. But as the painting progressed, I felt that I had reached some verisimilitude with regard to the shadows on my face, and my brother's face was perhaps a little bit too much in the light.